nurtured a collaboration with Professor Nicoleta Demian from Gheorghe Dima National Academy of Music. Specialized in classical and contemporary dance, Professor Nicoleta Demian holds courses of choreographic techniques, dance methodology, choreographic repertoire, and as well is the director of the study program Arts of Musical Performance. Beside a large number of choreography projects, workshops, masterclass, and numerous published studies about the dance techniques, stylistic and pedagogy, Professor Nicoleta Demian is the author of the first treatise on classical dance in Romanian language. I invite now Professor Ula Levens and Professor Nicoleta Demian to speak about the results of this professional collaboration, in which is involved, of course, the Tone Art Ensemble from Hamburg and a group of student dancers from National Music Academy in Cluj-Napoca. So now we are ready for a new experience with this dance. Mention that please unmute all your microphones, please. Vă rog să vă puneți microfoanele pe mute. Thank you so much. So the Disdance project and workshop is ready to begin.
Thank you very much, but we have a little problem because the musicians couldn't log in by now. So maybe I could start to present. So I have share screen with the presentation about our project. And I hope you will see it. So this performance today, Disdance 2021, as Cristina Șuteu says, and thank you very much for the presentation, was a collaboration between two ensembles. Tone Art Ensemble, which is formed by musicians, and the DNC Ensemble Cluj, which is the acronym for dance, that are formed by students here in Cluj-Napoca. So Disdance was a project who started last year between the Tone Art and me as a choreographer and dancer too. The activities of the past project Disdance took place every Monday, every Monday evening between 15th of April and 15th of June 2020 on Zoom platform. And that project starts because as artists, we wanted to continue to work in spite of all restrictions caused by coronavirus pandemic lockdown. And we decided to continue and developed the online music and dance improvisation meetings involving student dancers from our National Academy of Music. So we are inviting you today to online delivery of an art moment, and we hope it will prove the limitation of communication and space is no longer a problem. Professor Ula Levens wrote even an article about this project, that was called Restrictions as a Challenge for Artists. And it appeared here in Romanian magazine. So for this year, the perspectives and challenges will be, of course, again, online music and dance improvisation. Live performances of music and dance were restricted in online, but being receptive, we both musicians and dancers discovered the new improvisational and compositional approaches. This is the art part. And because we are here in art and education conference, the educational part is about how we teach students not to get tired of this year of remotely working. So findings from our empirical research show that online dance improvisation fostered learning and comprehension of the specific body language in choreography, and involving in practical and digital actions of online meeting. Student dancers became familiar throughout the project activities with a multitude of innovating techniques and procedures in terms of form and artistic language. And I think tonight you will see how many of them. Performing in front of web camera reaches some problems, but it could stimulate new kinds of knowledge too, could build new mental and physical constructions. And our activities, the rehearsals for the performance tonight, the activities of the project, so took place every Monday and or Thursday evening between 11 of March and 15 of April 2021 on Zoom platform. Here are the Ton Ensemble Hamburg, which is formed by Michael Hase, Thomas Osterheld, Georgia Hoppe, Ulla Levens, and Manfred Stanke. And the DNC Ensemble is formed by Juliana Dane, which was the soloist tonight, Teodora Berkes, Smaranda Ciubotariu, Stefania Köveshi, Raluca Perde, Diana Rusmir, and Vasiana Selejan. Musical techniques for improvising were the first patterns we must be aware of, because to improvise means in general in music to decide to play or not to play and what to play. Of course, it means to make a choice out of a variety of possibilities in every short moment. To be successful in this project, the musicians need to be aware of the actual agreed improvising rule or roles, watch the body movements of dancers and musicians, the other musicians too, listen to all the sounds in every performing movement, use a personal repertoire of sounds in contact with their own instrument, risk a certain degree of experiment, failure included, of course, and play with passion and determination. For the dances, we strive to make structural and stylistic suitability of music and dance. First of all, music released into the brain an image that started an impulsive movement, and if the music is perceived correctly, the movement became expressive. In choreography, music, movement, body, and mind merged on a dramatic visual expression. And for this project, we dancers started working on first guided solo dance improvisation when music follows dance patterns. Afterwards, rolling, slidings, or pivoting dance movements accordingly to the sound and rhythm of the music. Then we experience virtual contact improvisation by taking over the body movement. Then we explore music visualization into physical expression, and last but not last, bodily expression becomes a means of free composition, the embodiment of an object. Music and dance improvisation starts in ourselves a lot of experience. Listen to a musical piece and express freely the specific musical patterns through body motion was an amazing experience. Then the other experience was how our body movement will be related to space, gravitation, and rhythm. And during our rehearsals, we musicians and dancers too were exploring qualities of dance movements such as fluidity, tension, and energy. And in the last, music and dance improvisation and performing are interdependent and lead to a mental and kinesthetic experience. So our layout, the tonight layout of the performance will have 5 moments, 5 music and dance improvisation experiments. The first one, the presentation of all of us, then a solo, and the third, fourth, and fifth moments were some exercises which are transformed in really experience of music and dance. Because in this project, we started with rhythmic and physical exercises. We analyzed and found the best artistic structure, and we proposed our own key elements to managing a music and dance performance that can withstand a school experiment and promotes a genuine artistic experience. And music and dance improvisation as a synthesis of imagination, body motion, and emotion are fundamental in the development of expressiveness and creativity. From this point of view, it is a valuable method and a cardinal principle of dance composition, even offline. I hope you will see it. And we consider our outline live performance of music and dance improvisation as an evolution from feeling to representation. And for now, I think all the dancers and musicians are in their places. I salute them. And for the beginning, I would like to ask you to stop your video camera because we want you to see only the dancers and the musicians. Thank you very much. I think it's a better experience, will be a better experience for all of you if the window of musicians and dancers are as bigger as possible on Zoom. So the first, as I say before, the first moment of our performance is 3 minutes improvisation. Music and dance will have a parallel development, being autonomic. Dancers and musicians will experiment various possibilities of expression, blending music and dance, and yet indulging their autonomy at the same time. And for the beginning, please, all dancers, take your pose. And I directed the tempo of the dance, that not the music tempo, but the dance tempo will be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Georgia, du musst dein Mikrofon einstellen.
Okay. The second experiment is Juliana's solo. So it will be a solo dancer, and the dancer movements will be retrieved and transformed into musical structures of only strings instrument. In the same time, the body movements will visualize music. This improvisational experiment will start a dialogue between the musicians and the dancers, which continue with the veil moment that becomes a symbol of specific communication between music and dance. So, The next moment is called the storm, and is another experiment in which, symbolizing weather phenomena, the sound of every instrument and the body expression of every dancer will explore the qualities of movement such as fluidity, tension, and energy. We hope you'll enjoy it. And our last experiment, in the end, will present the candle, a moment in which music and dance improvisation and performing are interdependent and lead to a mental and kinesthetic experience, we hope. And we thank you very much, and hope you'll enjoy our performance. And we are looking forward to feedback from you.
Thank you so much for this interdisciplinary approach between dance, music, performance, body movement, improvisation, with each one of your contribution. Thank you also to all the participants for joining this session within the Art and Education Conference. And in the remaining time, please feel free to ask questions so we can have a couple of minutes for this section with question and answers. And I'm sure that each one of these presentations have triggered out your interest to ask somebody something specific, or even to correlate with the interdisciplinary approach. If the participants want to ask something, please feel free. Feel free.
You said the participants. So this is not only the audience, this is us musicians also.
Also, who's present?
Okay.
All the people who are involved in Zoom meeting.
Yeah, I would love to thank Nicoletta. Really, 1001 thanks for you from a dream world. It was just wonderful for us living in complete isolation somehow as musicians in Germany. It was such a really wonderful pleasure to work together with all the dancers. It was fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Nicoletta.
Yeah, I want to say the same as Manfred, and I think it's a really good opportunity to share some feelings and emotions, because I thought it was very emotional too, very touching, and I hope it turned out well for all the listeners and viewers. And the sound was good. I don't know how it sounded at the end. It's
very
a surprise.
Good. Very good sound.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
Great.
We didn't know if everything went good with Zoom platform, and I hope you will see well everything as well. I hope so, because the window of the girls, the dancers, were very small. But I tried to do some editing with musicians too. I don't know if it was seen, but in the recordings, of course, they will be. And thank you, especially for Professor Ulla Levens, who started this project after the conference, last year conference, Art and Education, where we meet. And after that, we work at Disdance 2020. And now, unfortunately too, we work together remotely. We hope to see in person, but it was not possible. Everyone worked from their homes, their attics, their bedroom, as you see. But we are a big whole soul on every Monday and Thursday nights. And I hope we'll see in person too as soon as possible. And I'd like to congratulate Professor Moral Koren and Professor Marit Jakola. It was there was very interesting approach. I'm not a musician, I'm a dancer and choreographer, but I think I could do something like that with my students too. So why not? Thank you very much, and congratulations.
Thank you very much. Also, thank you very much. Will be nice to see and watch and listen to some dancing on solfege.
Yeah, this is really interesting.
Yes, we have.
May I ask you something to all of you who already presented? I observed that each of guest speaker presentation is related somehow to educational coordinate. May I ask you, how do you see the development of education? Because that's what about. How do you see this the development of education in online context, making reference to each field of your expertise? So how education can be done and improved, or some strategies for in online context for social media aspects, or with the solfege program software, and with choreography and dance and body movement and improvisation. How all these can engage professor and students to pass to online period.
May I begin, because I was the first presenter?
Please,
So
please,
yeah, I guess I already addressed this question about pedagogy and learning, because my point of departure was that social media could be used for learning purposes, both for self-directed learning and for structuring the learning experience of one's own, but also for sharing learning experiences and to make more structured learning communities online. But the challenge or the problem there is often that we don't know what is out there, and my purpose was to make an overview, to give some insights into what or how musicians are communicating already. So all pedagogues, all educators are free to pick up these ideas and take them, pedagogize them, to take them into your courses. And I think there's a lot to do. It's very motivational. It's very collaborative. It makes also the pedagogical work visible. It's always quite demanding to make learning visible, but I think social media is an asset in this sense. Then I also want to I thought this performance we just saw, it was fascinating because I'm thinking how to make more use of for these kinds of platforms that we have, like Zoom. It might bring more value into both into the experience of making art and also following art. For example, the fact that the audience is mixed with the performers here in these small windows, it makes it into another kind of structure and could be used more to that we are, in a way, we are at the same level. And there is not the wall between the performers and the audience. In another way, there is a wall because everyone is behind a screen and so on. But also the fact that we can see your homes and you are performing. This is like, there are many new things that we need to reflect upon and maybe make use of. And in that way, it was a very nice experience. Thank you for all the performers. I was very inspired.
Yes, thank you. It was really, really last, like at the end, like something like a beautiful flower who opened at the end and put together everything that was before. Yes, really. Any comments, suggestions, interventions?
Yes, first I want to thank Nicoletta and the girls, your company, and thank you that we can be a part of the conference. I think our performance showed that improvising is a very important thing you can do and you can use also in education and also, or especially in online teaching, because it's very creative, and you can do it at different levels. It must not be that artistic level, and we can do it with primary on primary level and on secondary level. And the thing is the creative aspect. And as we show, it's also a social aspect. It's possible to get into contact, to communicate, and to be emotional, whether we are divided or separated. And I think that's a real chance, a challenge, and at the same time a chance to use and to think of new ways of teaching. And it's also good for interruption. So you have a mathematics lesson, and you can have a pause, a break, and then you can do some rhythmical clapping things all together, or one after the other, and you can play a rondo like that, or simpler forms. So I want to encourage you to get creative as a teacher with your students and scholars.
Thank you for these very good insights regarding improvisation and how this can be involved, merged into the learning and educational process. Thank you so much.
So I would, excuse me, but I want to say another thing to give a hint for tomorrow. So I will have a presentation about this Disdance project, telling you the development and the three parts. And so I would be very glad if you join the presentation, and then we have hopefully a short discussion. I have some questions for you, and so we can get also in contact and think over this topic.
Thank you. Thank you. We will keep into consideration. Thank you, Professor Rural-Evans. Thank you so much. Again, congratulations for this initiative together with Professor Nicoleta Demian to put together and to give an example that it can be possible even in our homes, even through internet can be possible, and you want to continue working, you can do it.
Yes, thank you, Christina, and all the friends. So for me, it's very emotional to be in contact with you. And or very often, I came to Cluj to the academy, and so now we are all in our homes, but we are in contact also. So have a good time, and thank you very much. So a special thank you to Nelida, and to Diana, and to Christina and Nicoleta.
I would like to add something. I would like, first of all, to thanks to all the presenters and especially to the musicians. As always, we had very innovative presentations. It was an amazing idea to organize this session. And I hope that in the next future, we will have the opportunity to develop new projects together. Congratulations, and thank you very much on behalf of the National Academy of Music Gheorghe Dima for your presence. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you so much to all of you. So, all that being said, if anyone wants to add something or comment, or otherwise, we just wish you a wonderful evening with many thanks and ideas for new future projects.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to all of you. Absolutely interesting, fascinating, and we will keep the recording for all of you. to have a good memory
Great.
to see in the future. Wonderful.
Thank
Have a
you.
nice
Thanks
evening
a
to
lot.
all of you.
Yes, you
Thank you,
too.
Professor
You
Nelly
too.
Danendelkut.
Thank
Thank you so much.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
See you all
Bye.
Bye.
tomorrow.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye bye.